Hello students, today we are going to do a very interesting chapter of chemistry, class 10th, chemical reaction and equation. So what we are going to do in today's class, what is a chemical reaction, how to recognize a chemical reaction, like characteristic features of a chemical reaction. And we are going to learn a very easy trick to balance the chemical equation. Let's start the class. So what is a chemical change? What is a change, first of all? So anything change from its original form to final form, that is a change. When a substance change from the original to something else, that is a change. So changes are basically of two types. One is physical change, another is chemical change. If I say a new substance is simply formed, like ice is, converted into water, it is just a physical change. This change is temporary and it is reversible. But when new substance with different properties, with entirely different properties, or I can say new property is formed, then I can say chemical change is happening. Like if I'm saying like a burning, digestion, all these are chemical change. This change is permanent and the substance is having entirely different, properties than the original substance. The change is permanent. Example, digestion of food. If the substances change only physical form of the physical form, then we can say physical change. If there is a change in the chemical components too, or the entirely new substances form, that is a chemical change. Now, next, what is a chemical? In this chapter, we will concentrate on the chemical changes, which we called chemical reaction. A reaction in which, or chemical reaction is a process in which original substance undergo permanent change. The substance which undergo change is called or are called reactant, and the final substance which is formed after that change is called product. So reactant, substance which take part in the reaction, product, the final thing formed after the chemical reaction has done, that are called product. So there are some how to recognize that chemical reaction has happened. There is a characteristic feature. If I say chemical reaction, how I will get to know कि chemical reaction happened, हुआ है chemical reaction. So there are some characteristic feature. One is the, if I say after reaction, there is a gas involved, then this is a characteristic feature. Yes, reaction has happened, chemical reaction has happened. If there is a change of color, that is entirely different from its, original to final, the color is entirely different. So I can say there is a change in color or change in temperature. See, for some reaction, we are going to, heat up the reactants to get that product. In some reaction, heat is evolved. So we call that reaction exothermic, which evolve the heat, and in some heat is absorbed. They are called endothermic reaction. And in some reaction, we are going to see precipitate is formed, like some residue-like substance is formed, or that is called precipitate. Like zinc, if I say evolution of gas, when I heat zinc granule in the HCl, so H2 hydrogen gas with the form of purple is produced along with the zinc chloride. If we, color change in a lot of reaction, if copper sulfate react with iron, if they are going to form iron sulfate that have the green color. And the next is a rise in temperature we have seen. Exothermic, like burning of anything, burning of carbon in the presence of oxygen. We have seen that temperature. So now the heat is evolved in this reaction. So heat is evolved, this is exothermic. In some reaction, we have to provide the heat. Heat is absorbed. This is called endothermic. So these are some characteristic feature by which I get to know, yes, chemical reaction has happened. So now this is the way we can identify chemical reaction. Once see chemical reaction, now we are going to, learn how to write first of all chemical formula and then how to write chemical reaction. If we know how to write the chemical formula, then it is easy for us to write any chemical reaction. Like if I say write the formula for sodium sulfate. So for this, you have to learn what are the charges on it. As you know, from this table, sodium is having +1 charge and sulfate, what is the charge on sulfate? SO4, 2 negative. So first of all, we'll write metal and what are their formula. See metal and the other part, non-metallic part. So after that, we are going to write their valency like +1 and -2. There is no need to write +1 or -2. So you can simply write 1 and 2. After crisscross, you can write its formula, which is Na2SO4. So by this way, by learning this table, so you can write any chemical formula like sodium is as having +1 charge, potassium +1, K +1, and Ag silver +1, copper +1, magnesium +2 charge, calcium +2, and zinc +2. So these charges are assigned according to their ability to donate electron or gain electron. If they are having extra 1 or 2 electron or 3 electron, they have +1, +2, +3 corresponding charges. The non-metal part, how many electron deficient in them? So they have that charge like chlorine. So they have Cl minus, then we called it chloride. Okay. So next is, so by this you can write any chemical formula. This is just you can write sodium sulfate. Let's write for lead nitrate. Lead nitrate, yes. So what is the sign for symbol for lead? Pb, nitrate, NO3. As you can see, Pb has 2 plus charge. As I told you, there is no need to write the signs. So you simply just have to write their valency. NO3 has the nitrate has the 1 valency. So by crisscross, you can get to know PbNO3 twice. This is the formula for net nitrate. By this way, you can write number of formulas and which will help you during the balancing of chemical equation for balance. So let's do the most important part of this chapter. So balancing. So before you must know how to write different formula, symbol, valencies, and then formula of that compound you can write. So write the symbol metal followed by the non-metal part. This is the rule. Then write their valency below the symbol. Like for magnesium chloride, you can write MgCl. Magnesium chloride. Magnesium is having +2 charge. Chlorine is 1. So MgCl2. I hope this is very clear to you. After that, let's do how to balance chemical equation, which is the most important. Let's do the art of balancing. Hit and trial you all have, lesson. So today we are going to know why there is a first thing, why there is a need to balance the equation to, fulfill the law of conservation of mass, which say mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. It is changed from one form to another. So the substances which are going to take part in a reaction, we have to take on the left-hand side and they are called reactant. And the a product or after reaction, whatever substances we are getting, they are called product that we have to write on the right hand side. So this is the skeleton equation, unbalanced and balance. After that, you have to balance it. So how the number of reactant molecules should be equal to the product one. So that is mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay. So, how to balance a chemical equation? Let's learn a very important, very easy trick to balance this equation. Hit and trial, you all know, but there is a very important and easiest method to, balance any chemical equation. First of all, you have to balance polyatomic group. Before that, we have just learned how to, write any chemical formula. So in this, I have provided you polyatomic ion, ammonium ion, hydroxide, nitrate, hyd hydrogen carbonate. So they all have that charges. So once you know that what are polyatomic ion, so you have to balance it if it is present in the both reactant and product side. Second is you have to balance metal. Third, balance non-metal part, then hydrogen and oxygen. At the last, you have to balance. Let's write a reaction and let's do this. Let's start with the balancing of chemical equation. Like if I'm writing zinc is reacting with sulfuric acid is going to give you zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. But how this one is called word equation, which give you entire information. So then in the symbol, when you are writing, that is the chemical equation. Let's balance it. So according to the rule, I told you, so very easy trick to balance this chemical equation. First of all, we have to balance any polyatomic ion if present in both reactant as well as in the product. So we have seen that SO4 is present in both reactant as well as in the product. Let's balance it first. So in reactant side, it is 1. Even in the product, it is 1. Zinc, then coming to the balancing of metals. So yes, here it is 1. Here it is 1. Hydrogen is 2. Hydrogen is 2. Oxygen is already balanced in the combined state in SO4. So this reaction is balanced. So how to make this reaction even more informative or a complete balanced chemical equation? Just by writing the state, zinc is in the solid state and H2SO4, dilute H2SO4, we usually use aqueous state. So ZnSO4 formed are the solid, H2 is the gaseous state. So by writing, by after balancing writing state, this is called complete balanced chemical equation. Let's balance the another one, the second equation. Iron react with water to give iron oxide and hydrogen gas. So iron, so this is the word equation. This is the chemical equation. Let's balance it. Iron in the reactant side, what is it? It is 1, but in the product side, 3. So let's start balancing from the metal as there is no polyatomic ion. So first of all, according to the rule, we can balance metals first. So here it is 1. So Fe is balanced, iron is balanced. Let's come to the hydrogen. Here it is 2. Here it is 2. So it is 2 on the both sides. Next to oxygen, you have seen 4 oxygen there. So we can put 4 here, yes or no? So, see, oxygen is balanced. Again, coming to now, hydrogen is not balanced. See, 4 twos are 8 here, but it is 2 here. So how will balance that, how will we balance hydrogen? So we have to put 4 here to balance it. Is this balanced? Yes, it is balanced. This is the complete balanced chemical equation by writing its state, iron in the solid state, water in the liquid state, and FeSO4, iron oxide is in the solid and hydrogen gas in the gaseous state. Yes, by writing its state, this is the complete balanced chemical equation. So now coming to yes, if potassium iodide added to lead nitrate is going to give you lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. So how to balance this equation? First of all, see polyatomic ion, which should be present, or if it is present in both reactant and product, you have to balance it first. Then coming to the metal part and then non-metal. Let's start balancing of this equation. Here it is. This is only one. There it is two. So I can put two here. So NO3 part is balanced. Let's come in, after coming to this PB, lead part, one lead. K, here it is two. So I can do like this, two. Iodine, two. Two, is it balanced? Yes, it is balanced. Now, after writing the state, potassium iodide, aqueous state, lead nitrate is in the aqueous. Aqueous, when anything dissolved in water, that state is called aqueous state. And this is in the solid, and this one is in the aqueous state. So by writing the state in which the reactant and product are agreeing and after balancing, so this is the complete chemical equation. Now let's balance another one. Carbon monoxide react with hydrogen gas. It is going to give you methanol. Yes. Let's balance this equation. How to balance this equation? See how many carbons are there. Oxygen is there. Hydrogen is there. So simply you can see four hydrogen there. Three in with diffuse with C bonding with the carbon. So you can simply put them two. So it is complete balance, complete equation. So just write the state. This is in the liquid state. So this is a complete balanced equation. Let's do another equation. Solution of barium chloride and sodium sulfate in water to react to give insoluble barium sulfate and solution of sodium chloride. Let's solve this question. Barium chloride, they are saying solution of, that means aqueous solution. With sodium sulfate, yes, is going to give you barium sulfate plus sodium chloride. Let's balance this equation. As SO4, in the reactant side, it is 1, product side, it is 1. Now barium, metal part, it is 1. Now see another part, sodium, which is 2 here. So I can apply 2 here, so 2. Now chlorine, 2 on the reactant side, 2 on the product side. This is the complete balanced equation. NaCN is also in the aqueous. Barium sulfate is all solid. So this is the complete balanced equation. Let's come to the next question. Yes. Nitric acid reacting with the calcium hydroxide to give calcium nitrate and water. Let's do the balancing of this equation. So see, NO3 is a polyatomic ion which is present in both reactant as well as in the product. Let's balance it first. 1 in the reactant side, 2 in the product side. So I can apply 2 here. So it is it balanced now? Now for calcium, 1 on the reactant, 1 in the product side. And hydrogen, it is in the here 2 and 2, 4 hydrogen in the reactant side, 4 in the product side. Yes or no? 4 in the product side. How can I say 4 in the product side? Yes. Now 4 in the product side. Let's balance oxygen. So only this oxygen, this we have already balanced polyatomic ion. So let's do to 2 oxygen. This is a balanced chemical equation. How can we write? By writing the state. It is in the nitric acid in the aqueous state, calcium hydroxide in the solid state. We are going to obtain calcium nitrate, and that is aqueous state, water in the liquid state. So this is the complete balanced chemical equation. Okay, let's do the next equation. NaOH, sodium hydroxide, react with sulfuric acid to give. Yes. Let's balance it. Let's balance it. So, SO4, polyatomic ion, we have to balance first. It is 1 in the reactant side, 1 product side. Sodium, 1 here, 2 here. So let's balance sodium first. It is balanced now. Hydrogen, let's come to hydrogen, 4 in the reactant side, 2 to 4. And 4 in the product side, oxygen is 2. This is a complete balanced equation. Let's write the state. NaOH in the aqueous state and H2 sulfuric acid is also in the aqueous state. Na2SO4 is also in the aqueous state, water in the liquid state. So this is the complete balanced equation. Let's do one more equation, 1 or 2 more equation. Balancing of equation. Let's do it. So, element, reactant, and product. Let's balance it. So, NO3, let's balance it first. So, 1, 1, Na1, 1, sodium is 1, silver 1 on the both sides, Cl. So, this is already a complete, already a balanced equation. Let's write a complete by writing its state of the reactant as well as the product. So this is solid. Whenever we got precipitate, we assign that arrow downward to represent precipitate. Yes. So this is a balance. Let's do one more reaction to balance this equation. These all are from the NCERT. So BaCl2, barium chloride, react with sulfuric acid to give barium sulfate and HCl. Let's balance it. So starting from the polyatomic ion, 1, 1. Yes, this is also 1, 1. And chlorine, this is 2 on the reactant side. Let's balance it 2 on the product side. So hydrogen is already balanced. Yes, it is balanced. So by writing the state aqueous, and this is dilute HCl, so you can write aqueous or dilute. So barium sulfate is solid state, hydrochloric acid in the aqueous state. This is the complete balanced equation. So this is about balancing of the equation. In the next lecture, we are going to study types of chemical reaction.